Hello everybody, I'm finally back. It's been a while. Today though, I have some FFOs. I have lots of whips. I'm only going to pick about 8 whips, maybe 10 for my Stitch 10 in 20 challenge that I'm going to concentrate on after I did Mania. I have a couple of really old charts that I want to show with you, and the winner of the giveaway from last, it's probably been a month now, sorry about that. But if you're like me, before I start videos, I get a glass of ice water and a notebook. Channel. My name is Shanda and I live in Idaho along the Continental Divide, and I have been very busy with work, but it's also summer and I have been stitching out on my porch. I have been looking at some quilting patterns of things that I want to make for some quilting gifts for Christmas, and actually I finished a couple things, so let's get started. I always like it when FlossTubers start with FFOs. The word just escaped me. And I have 2 today. The first one I want to show is my Parson Brown. I don't want the light. Oh, and I'm going to have a glare from the window too. My Parson Brown. And this is just, it fits in an 8x10 frame. I want to say this is 32 count. I started this back in 2015 when I wasn't keeping notes on my stitching. But this pattern is by Lori Brecklin, Not Forgotten Farms, and it is still available, and it's just simply called Parson Brown. So this one is done and ready, framed, and it's ready for Christmas. Maybe I can call it Christmas in June. I don't know. This one, I'm sure a lot of us have stitched it in honor of Leanne, and I finally got mine back. I just had mine framed at Hobby Lobby. Mine is on 18 count natural linen. It's almost like a really open weave burlap, and I love it. Let me see if I can get it a little bit closer. I just love it. The frame is something I picked out from Hobby Lobby, and I got it back, and I actually can't wait for Christmas to display these 2 pieces. So Baby It's Cold Outside heartstring samplery. There it is. Love it, just love it. Okay, and then the rest of this box is literally, I would put stuff in here when I knew that I needed to show it in my next FlossTube, so it's gonna just come out. I'll try to keep it in group order, but no guarantees. And I'll try not to make this really long video because you guys you have better things to do in the summer. Okay, first I have to report that my Christmas at Winterberry cabin is almost done, and I'll scroll it for you. There's my Santa. I got December 25th up here. I just have to put in the background. This one kind of got put on the back burner with Mania, and then I picked it up again recently. So, oh, I'm coming to my needle. So, anyway, I'll probably have this one done as an FO next time. I am just loving this pattern. I didn't think I would like this because of the, I don't know, the leaves to me aren't as green as they should be, but I'm changing up the colors. And anyway, I'll just show it to you one more time. There's my Santa, my deer. I just thought those leaves, maybe I picked the wrong color, but I looked at it and this was the color. But I'll change up some of the colors that are left. I'm going to make some of my trees that are left, my feather trees, a dark, dark green. Anyway, Christmas at Winterberry Cabin. And I keep it in this huge plastic quilt bag. And that's one of my Stitch 10 and 20 challenges. I'll try to do all those first. One of my bags that I made for my mini Stitch Mania projects, and I am happy to report that I did get all 31 started. I'm concentrating more now on, I think there's about 6 or 7 of them that I really want to get done here for Stitch 10 and 20 challenge, but we have until May 1st of 2021 to get them, or is it February? I actually can't remember when we're supposed to get them done. My first one was a stitch along that I encouraged everybody to start on Mother's Day. I need to get something to put this up against. Let me show you. I won't show you the chart. It's a Salt Box Quilt Sampler. I had a dental appointment earlier today and my teeth are kind of sore. Salt Box Quilt Sampler. And I am doing mine on 28 count even weave sand by, oh, it's just a Carolina linen. It's probably something I had in my stash because I wasn't getting fabric as I ordered it, but I'm doing mine 1/1. So these are the colors. I am so excited about this because I love 1/1. I'm really discovering that I love it. It's going to be really, really tiny, but I've got a nice start there. And then these are the colors. Some are DMC. I'm using the called for. Some are DMC, some are Weeks Dye Works, some are Crescent Colors, I believe. And then I don't know, this hoop has got a really, I mentioned before that I don't really like using wooden hoops, but I want to get a Duchess or I think it's a Queen. This one says Frank A. Edmonds, and I got it at Hobby Lobby of all places. But it's a really nice finished edge, and I think it was only like $10, and then I used my 40% off coupon. But I'm using that as I stitch my Salt Box Quilt Sampler from Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. Another one of my 10 and 20, Stitch 10 and 20 challenges. This is called Deer Hearts. It's from Blackbird Designs. I'm really enjoying all of these. I enjoyed Mania so much. This one was a mystery fabric. I'll go like this so you can kind of see. It's got it's dark, and it's got, I'm using the called for threads. So this is just the green border. It's just a tiny start, but when you only had one day to stitch on something, you didn't get too far on any one project when you start 31 projects. Crazy me, right? But these are the colors that I don't think I have. Oh, I wrote a note to myself. I need 2 of the colors, but that's kind of what it's gonna have in it. It's called My Dear Hearts Blackbird Designs. Love it. I'm gonna try and put everything back in my bags. This bag was out of my Blackbird fabric, and it's got a pink, I want to say it's a Jill Morton background, but I don't have them all blinged out yet. I told myself I would do that after Mania, so here I go, right? Don't ask me why. This one's a Christmas bag, and I have Stacy Nash's feathered Nest pin book in here. I think it was the only one I had left, and so I just put this one in here. But I'm loving this little bird and the strawberries. So it's a Christmas bag, and I did get a fairly good start on it. I'm doing the back first with that dark blue, and then these are going to be the colors, the other colors for the front of it. And my threads are complete on this one. I have a lot of haul here, you'll see in a minute. And the threads, I'm not going to show threads, but I do have some threads still on order. Stuff is just now coming through from being ordered back when we were all quarantined. Okay, the next one, sorry I get interrupted there. The next one is also a Blackbird Designs, and it's from the book My Heart is True. And this one is called Flock of Birds. It's this one right here. And I'm stitching it on called for fabric with called for threads. And this to me just looks really dark, but let me get this up here. This is a really fun stitch. I can't wait to get this one done. Let me hold this up again. I need 6 arms. I'll just go like this. How's that? But there's the pattern. I just love it. It's small. It stitches out at 115 by 66. So I'm really excited. I love them all. I want to just stay home and stitch all day long, and that can't happen. I'm bypassing some of these for later. Another Blackbird Designs. These all, the beginning ones, are all my stitch 10 and 20, and I need to shift my leg here. It's falling asleep. This pattern, Where My Heart Blooms, it's been on my radar for many, many years. So you can see that. It's just a gorgeous pattern. It's also in a Blackbird bag that I made. And the thread is complete on this one. I had to write myself a note, so if I needed to order anything. And this is my start. It's kind of small. I'm starting with the border. I figure if I do the border first and make it connect all the way around, I usually start in the upper left and work my way around, and it connects. Then I can go ahead and spend time on working on the inside. So for especially the Blackbirds that have a border, I'm making sure that border connects before I do anything of the other, stitch any of the other motifs. Or spend too much time on it without having to rip out. This next one, this is like my bag that I also made one for Christy, Crosshatch Quilts, because I love hedgehogs and she loved tomatoes. So I made her a bag like this. I mentioned before that my bags are kind of beefy. I use Pellon 71F as in Frank in my bags, and they're pretty taut. And then just I don't know the gauge of vinyl that I used. I used something that I had on hand. But this is the pattern that's in there, and I know this one is out of print, and I apologize. I've had this for a long time. This is my start. This is on, oh, I should have been telling you what these are on. They're all on either 28/1 or 28/32 1/2 or 2/2. I'll try and concentrate on that better when I show these in the future. But this one is 28 count linen, and I think I'm doing this one, yeah, this is 1/2, excuse me, 2/2 that I'm stitching it like it's called for. And this is kind of thin, so let's see if I can do that. You can still see my bag through it, but oh, this one's going to be just gorgeous. I cannot wait for this one to be done. And I commented before that I wasn't too crazy about that red, but I think I will stitch it with the called for red. And then if I don't like it, I will tone it down with my Distress It spray. Because I think most of mine are DMC colors. I'm having to make sure I get all the threads that I started and snippets in each bag so that I don't lose anything. Okay, the last 3 whips are ones that I've discovered I can't put down. They're not in my stitch 10 and 20, but I can't put them down. I am obsessed with finishing them or working on them, so they might get bumped up and receive higher priority. But this first one, this is in my, let me take this out so you can see the bag. This is in my bicycle bag that is from the 4th of July. And that kind of is an indicatory clue as to which sampler I'm housing in here. And just a red back. I bought this many months ago and I wanted to make, I knew I wanted to make a project bag out of it, but I love those bicycles. This one I still need quite a bit of the threads, but it is American Sampler by Plum Street Samplers. This is the one where I love the bunting across the fence down there at the very, very bottom. There we go. And if anybody can help me, this fabric says it measured at 26 counts. So I am doing 1/1. Am I doing 1/1? No, I'm doing 2/2. So it's going to be really big. It's going to be very large. But this fabric is like butter. I don't know what it is, but it's a little bit on the thicker side, and it is so flowy and drapey. It's beautiful for me to try stitching in hand. I love this, but I'm done from the top border over to the flag pole. Kind of see my work. It's almost, it was just something in my stash that didn't have a tag on it. It's almost like it was made so long ago, back when fabric was made really, really well. It's just so drapey. It's almost like a tablecloth in a way. It's beautiful. So this one I'm really, of course, dying to stitch. I love a lot of Plum Street Samplers patterns. I can't find the blue. I think everybody's having a hard time finding uniform blue. And that's one of the colors that I still have to get for this pattern, for this chart. Oh, I just love it. The next one is also from Christy Crust Hatch Quilts. She's the one that gave me found me my unicorn chart and sent it to me. Cherry Hollow Farm. I've always had a problem with that in the past. But yeah, I can't put this down. And this is 25 count, and it is 1/1 that I'm going to do. It's going to be kind of small. And it is a 25 count even weave, probably by, I don't know, but see, it's not going to be very big because my piece of fabric isn't very big. Oh, I'm just loving this little tiny alphabet. That's what it's going to look like. See my threads hanging here. These are ones I'm not using right now. Part of my stash. I've got 3 or 4 hanging there on the wall. Okay, let's move on to acquisitions, or my haul. I have ordered so much fabric and threads to complete projects so I can pick them up. Let me empty out my box here. Okay. The first thing I ordered came from Cottage Needleworks on Etsy. Loved her service. She was a cute little thing. Liberty House. Just a random pattern that I bought. I have patterns, floss, and fabric that I ordered, but I loved this. This might be one of my Stitch Manias next year. It's been a while, so I don't even know what I'm opening here. This one is from, oh, this was, like I said, this one was from Cottage Needleworks. I kind of like to spread the wealth out when I order stuff. This one is from 123 Stitch, and this was my most recent acquisition. Liberty Inn by Plum Street Samplers, but I love that 1776 up there. I just can't wait. There are not enough hours in the day to stitch. Plum Street Samplers, John and Abigail. I love Revolutionary War history, early American history. So I will probably be stitching a lot of patriotic stitching, especially before 2026, when the 250th centennial, I can't remember that term now, I'll put it across the bottom here, but it's the 250th birthday of our nation. So, and I love Abigail Adams. I think she was an incredibly forward-thinking woman for her age, for her era that she lived in. Smart, wrote to her husband a lot, was a true supporter of him. And then the last one I got was Away We Ride, Blackbird Designs. It's a Halloween sampler. I love the cardboard sampler chart patterns. Love them. Okay, next one came from Dime to Stitch, I want to say. This is kitted up, so I can't tell you where this came from. But I loved this pattern, and I do not know, it's a blackbird, so hold down the fort. But I do not know for the life of me why this pattern hasn't gotten more recognition, because it just came out. Little birds, and this is going to be my 4th of July start. And I'm doing it on 32 count Heartland, and like what is in most, sometimes, I mean, I think you can kind of see that. It's an absolute beautiful piece of fabric. It's very modeled. It's Heartland by Picture This Plus. Only the stores I've used are Cottage Needleworks, 123 Stitch, Dime to Stitch, Acorn and Threads, and Country Sampler. So it came from one of those stores. But I have it all kitted up. It is ready to start. I don't have my bling yet. Please forgive me. I'm not in compliance, as Brenda and Laura would say, or Christy from Crosshatch Quilts. But it's kitted up here, and I got the pattern. I guess that's the most important thing, is that you have the pattern and you have 1 or 2 flosses you can start with, right? That's what it's all about. It's just being able to start, and then you get so hooked that you can't put it down, and the rest is history. Okay, this last one, a couple more things here. These last ones are, I want to say from 123 Stitch and Country Sampler. I do have one order out from Country Sampler, and I'm still waiting on my pattern from Canada. It's from Traditional, I want to say it's called Traditional Stitches up in Canada. Okay, so I'm going to go through these really quick. These were probably, yeah, from 123 Stitch, Country Sampler, and Acorn and Threads. White Pumpkin Farm by Plum Street Samplers. Miss Bingley's Library. I love my library. I shall be miserable if I have not an excellent library. 1813. Miss Bingley's Library, Plum Street Samplers. Heartstring Sampleries, I bit the bullet. His eye is on the sparrow, but I didn't get the booklet. This is the chart. Plum Sleep Samplers, Liberty's Welcome. I know Brenda has this sit behind her when she's talking on their FlossTube, her and Laura's FlossTube. And I know Christy from Crosshatch Quilts has stitched this too. All that grass. Laura from Brenda and the Cereal Starter, it has this on her radar. This is on my, like, I want to start this Sunday radar. French woolens. I grew up on a sheep ranch, so sheep mean a lot to me. The Potting Shed from With Thy Needle and Thread. This is very similar to Christmas at Winterberry Cabin. It's the same kind of layout, format, the vine across the side and across the top with the sign. Love this one. Blessed Be from Brenda Gervais. You can kind of see I grouped everything together and by designer. This one says 95 wide by 95 high, and I would like to have bees someday, so I got this. Gathering the Green Sampler. This is by Stacy Nash Primitives. It's a Christmas, but I don't think it's too Christmassy. I think you could probably leave this out all year long. But it's kind of big, 232 by 152. I love Stacy Nash's stuff. I love it all. What's wrong with me? Chessie and Me, Peace and Goodwill Sampler. This is definitely a Christmas piece. Love this. One more chart and then a piece of fabric. Heartland Sampler, The Scarlet House. I don't know why, but this one just spoke to me. I love the red barn. The little garden, the spotted cow, the water pump right here on the side, right here, the little water pump. Oh, this just reached out to me. Okay, then I also got a 32 count piece of Vintage Country Mocha, Belfast Linen 27. So this would be a fat half. And again, yeah, I got so many charts now. I have a lot of fabric. That the other one was a fat half also, but that one I think I'm going to use for my little birds. But Vintage Country Mocha. This feels like butter too. They all feel like butter. The quality of fabric from the 90s to now is like improved 200 times over. I'm such a sensory person. Even when I'm quilting, it's the feel of the cotton. If I'm in a quilt store, I run my hand down along the bolts of fabric. I'm sure a lot of you could relate. It's the feeling of the floss, especially these ones that are all twisted up, the ones that are brand new on the little thing. Two that I've got kitted up here that are ready to go. I'm doing this on 28 count. The summer, fall, and winter from Blackbird Designs. I say this and then watch. I won't get it started until, I don't know, September. This might be my fall start. I think that the thing is just to start something. I feel I could relate with Laura, that I can start something and then I get so hooked I have to finish it. So I'm kind of a combination. I love to start stuff and then I just kill myself to get it finished. The last one is something I received from my dear Wendy in Maine. This is a chart she's letting me borrow. It's called Dear Daughter. And my daughter's birthday is in August. And I've thought long and hard about this, and I'm going to stitch this here in July and August for her. But I may put my mother's initials up in here just so that she can have a remembrance of her grandmother. I just think that would be something different. I don't have the fabric because I'm going to cut down part of this vintage country mocha, but these are my colors. Just absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Wendy, so much for letting me borrow this chart. Blackbird designs are such classic. I've said it before, and I will say it again, that they are the Audrey Hepburn of the cross-stitch world. Their stuff never goes out of style. It's perfect. Okay, a couple last things, and then I'll do the names for the giveaway. I got a new quilt book, and it was either on my Instagram account or a comment here on YouTube. Instagram kind of overwhelms me. I'm not on there as much. I don't know. I'm kind of taking a sabbatical from social media. But anyway, this book was an incredible book for the, I think it was $19.95, but it is super thick. And I can't remember which quilt it was. I'm going to have to go back and look at my comments and my correspondence with others. But it's a great, not only does it have quilts, but there's table mats, there's sewing books, there's little birds, beach hut key fobs, lots and lots of things in here to make door stops, things out of jelly rolls, The Joy of Jelly Rolls, and it is by Carolyn Forrester. You can see that down there. But the thing that probably should have marked this, hair ties, pin cushions, pot holders, a mini bunting. I mean, how cute is that? For all that you got in this book, I felt it was an incredible value. I believe I got mine at Craft Warehouse down in Meridian, but you could probably get it off Amazon or go to your quilt store first. I highly recommend supporting your local needlework shops and your local quilt stores. Yeah, for the money, this was just sweet. It was very vintage, soft and faded vintage. Great book for $19.95. Like I said, there are 240 pages in this thing. It's really, really thick, so it's a good buy. My dear friend Nicole sent me this probably, I don't know, several years ago. Within 3, but more than 1. Schoolgirl Embroideries. This is an old Leisure Arts book, catalog or chart, and it was published in 1990. But some of these are just very, very sweet. And this one on the back reminds me of the movie Friendly Persuasions. It says, God is love. Has the alphabet, a little girl's name, and the year. Love that one. Just all of them are just this one in the front, ABCD through Q. It says, I did my best, Emma Hall, 1793. Right there. It's just a darling. Schoolgirl Embroideries by Leisure Arts. Precious samplers that you could make, or even have your grandchildren or granddaughter teach. If somebody wants to learn something, this would be great. Obviously out of print, but stuff like this you can find at thrift stores. I'm sad to say, they just don't make them like they used to. Let me just say that. Okay, 2 more things. One is I subscribe to this. I know this is not quilting or cross-stitch related. Cooks Illustrated. I love this magazine. I love the magazine for the illustrations. There's always, what do I want to say, like quick tips in the front. But the pencil drawings in here are just, they're precious. And this month, there's something in here called Smashed Burgers. And that title piqued my interest, but how to make pro caliber ice cream. Look at this picture, it's drawn. The man who does this, his name is John Burgoyne, the illustrations. But look at that cute, it's drawn, it's not real, but it looks real, but it's drawn. It's just incredible. Anyway, I highly recommend this. This is something that's a good diversion from, there's not ads, there's no ads in here. Goes through, picks out certain kinds of olive oil and rates them, or certain kitchen pots and pans or utensils or egg slicers or whatever. But I've subscribed to this for some time and I really enjoy Cooks Illustrated. Okay, for the giveaway, I did because I used my phone to record, I did the random comment picker before, and I will contact these people in 2 or 3 days if they haven't contacted me first. I will link my email address below, so please email me, or just, if you're not a winner, please, if you want to, email me anyway. And I will answer any questions you have, or start a correspondence with you. Okay, the Spring Begins was won by, I wrote them here on the back so I wouldn't have to turn them around all the time, Ann Baker. Spring Begins, sweet little sampler. Wendy is so talented. Her company name is From the Heart, and she had sent me these to do a giveaway with, and thank you, Wendy. She sent me some to keep too, and I did. And I will be probably starting those for smalls. I don't have any smalls, so I want to stitch some smalls. But Spring Begins was won by Ann Baker. So Ann, please email me with your address and I'll send it out. Summer Blooms was won by Jen, and I'm probably going to butcher this name, Heitpas, H-I-E-T-P-A-S. So Jan, please email me with your physical address and I will mail this out to you. And the sampler petites, which were kind of a hot item. I believe there's 3 parts, but Wendy sent me 2. I didn't think the 3rd one was out when she had sent these to me yet. So I have A through I, and then the second pattern is J through probably R. So both of these, darling little smalls, are going to Darlene Terpening. Terpening. So Darlene, email me also. I hope the start of summer finds you well, and that you are able to get out and get a few cross stitch supplies, or visit a quilt store, or I don't know if many states have museums open or what, but enjoy your summer, enjoy your stitching time. I, like Brenda, also stitch a little bit before I go to work in the morning. And then I am alone, so I stitch in the evenings out on my small little patio in my Adirondack chair. So I can get some sun and enjoy the nice weather with my flowers and whatnot. Next time I hope to have my Christmas at Winterberry Cabin done. Time is short, time is fleeting, and Christmas is right around the corner, so is Christmas in July. I have started a few Christmas gifts, and those I can't show right now. So, because I'm sure the recipients would know whose is whose and who they are for. So enjoy your summer, enjoy your stitching time. And I think I'm gonna go clean up this mess now and see if I can organize some of these patterns, but happy stitching.